Hello friends, welcome to Civil Dunia. This one is the last video of our series on environmental geotechnique. The topic of this video is bioremediation. Objectives of bioremediation are how it works, essential factors for microbial bioremediation, bioremediation methods and types, microbes involved in bioremediation, advantages and disadvantages of bioremediation, application of bioremediation, some bioremediation related technologies. We will going to learn all the objectives in upcoming time. What is bioremediation? Remediate means to solve a problem and bioremediate means to use biological organisms to solve an environmental problem such as contaminated soil or groundwater. Bioremediation means to use a biological remedy to abate or clean up contamination. Bioremediation is a waste management technique that involves the use of organisms to remove or neutralize pollutants from a contaminated site. According to the EPA, bioremediation is a treatment that uses naturally occurring organisms to break down hazardous substances into less toxic or non-toxic substances. What is bioremediation? Bioremediation is the Bioremediation is a biological degrading process for the treatment of contaminated soils, groundwater, and or sediments relying on microorganisms including bacteria and fungi to use the contaminants as a food source with resulting degradation of the contaminant. Microorganisms used to perform the function of bioremediation are known as bioremediators. Bioremediation is one of the most economic remedial techniques presently available for treating most organic fuel based contaminants such as coal tars and liquors, petroleum, and other carcinogenic hydrocarbons such as benzene and naphthalene, and some inorganics. Bioremediation is a triple corners process. Okay, see here, pollutants, environments, and organisms. Pollutants are of two types, inorganic and organic. Organic pollutants include solid liquid gas. Environments like soil, water, and air. Organisms are microorganisms, plants, and enzymes. That's why we may say that bioremediation is a triple corners process. How does it work? Waste material is examined and certain bacteria are isolated based on their efficacy at digesting and converting the waste. Indigenous or local bacteria is to be used. The bacteria then go through several steps of cultures and process for performance testing. The suitable bacteria are placed back in the waste environment. They grow and thrive and in the process digest and convert the waste into carbon dioxide and water. The right temperature, nutrients and food also must be present. Conditions may be improved by adding amendments. Essential factors for microbial bioremediation. Factors are microbial population and conditions are suitable kinds of microorganisms that can biodegradable all of the contaminants. Oxygen enough to support aerobic biodegradation, about 2% oxygen in the gas phase or 0.4 mg per liter in the soil water. Water. Soil moisture should be from 50 to 70% of the water holding capacity of the soil. Nutrients. Its desired conditions is nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur and other nutrients to support good microbial growth. Temperature. Conditions are appropriate temperature for microbial growth 0 to 40 degrees Celsius and pH best range is from 6.5 to 7.5. Bioremediation is of two types, in situ and ex situ. In situ means at the site, ex situ means away from site. In situ, treatment of contaminated material in place, and in ex situ, techniques involves physical removal of the contaminated material for treatment process. Example of in situ are benzene, toluene, TNT, 24, 24 TNT, 24D. And example of ex situ are biopiles, soil treatment unit, composite pile, windrows, etc. In situ, complete degradation is often difficult to achieve, and in ex situ, use of bioreactors to process the material in a highly controlled environment. There are three types of bioremediation, which are biostimulation, bioaugmentation, intrinsic bioremediation. Biostimulation: the method in which bacteria are motivated to start the process of bioremediation. In this method, first the experts release nutrients and other important substances in the soil where there is need or removing the contaminants. These are in the form of gas or liquid. It increases the growth of microbes in that area. As a result, bacteria and other microorganisms remove the contaminants quickly and efficiently. Bioaugmentation: microorganisms that can clean up a particular contaminant are added to the contaminated soil and water. Bioaugmentation is more commonly and successfully used on contaminants removed from the original site, such as municipal wastewater treatment facilities. Intrinsic bioremediation: process takes place in soil and water because these two places are always full of contaminants and toxins. This process is also called as natural attenuation. Also means use of the microorganisms to remove the harmful substances from soil and water. Especially those sites are treated with this method which are underground, for example, underground petroleum tanks. Here are the reaction of bioremediation process. Advantages and disadvantages are here. Advantages are low cost, minimal site disruption, simultaneous treatment of contaminated water and soil, minimal exposure of public and site personnel, useful for the complete destruction of a wide variety of contaminants, can often be carried out on site, often without causing a major disruption of normal activities, can prove less expensive than other technologies that are used for cleanup of hazardous waste. Disadvantages are time consuming, seasonal variation, problematic addition of additives, limited to those compounds that are biodegradable. Not all compounds are susceptible to rapid and complete degradation. There are some concerns that the products of biodegradation may be more persistent or toxic than the parent compound. Difficult to extrapolate from bench and pilot scale studies to full scale field operations. Biological processes are often highly specific microbial populations, suitable environmental growth conditions, and appropriate levels of nutrients and contaminants. Here are the bioremediation process. Here is contamination, environment and process, engineering and monitoring. Okay, see the typical typical data in tabular form. This one is the figure of before bioremediation and this one is the figure of after bioremediation. Okay, applications of bioremediations are here. Bioremediation of contaminated soil. There are two types of bioremediation of soil. One is in situ bioremediation of soil and second one is ex situ bioremediation of soil. In situ bioremediation soil allows treatment of a large volume of soil at once And in XC2, bioremediation of soil involves excavation of the contaminated soil and treating in a treatment plant located on the site or away from the site. In situ bioremediation of soil mostly effective at sites with sandy soils, and in ex situ this approach can be faster, easier to control and used to treat a wider range of contaminants and soil types than in situ approach. In situ can vary depending on the method of supplying oxygen or electron donors to the organisms that degrade the contaminants. Three commonly used in situ methods include bioventing, injection of hydrogen peroxide or oxygen releasing compound ORC for aerobic treatment, and injection of HRC for anaerobic treatment. And ex situ bioremediation can be implemented as slurry phase bioremediation or solid phase bioremediation. Solid phase bioremediation is of three types: contained solid phase, composting, and land farming. This one is the figure of bioremediation of contaminated soil. See the figure. This one is the process of bioremediation of contaminated soil. See it properly. Here is contaminated soil. There is addition of nutrients, moisture, O2, electron minus acceptor, donor or microbes. pH, temperature and redox potential to be measured. Measure concentrations of the contaminants and the biological growth. Is the remediation complete? If yes, then abandon remediation. If no, then we go for the same process again. Okay. Now we will going to learn bioremediation of aquifer. In situ bioremediation (ISB) of groundwater involves the encouragement of indigenous bacterial populations to metabolize target contaminants through the addition of various amendments to the subsurface environment. In addition to amendments, select strains of bacteria may be added to the subsurface to help treat some sites. Bioaugmentation. Bacteria perform coupled oxidation reduction, that is redox reactions, to live, and bioremediation exploits these reactions to remove contaminants from contaminated media, that is groundwater. Bacteria can use different electron acceptors, oxidized compounds and donors, reduced compounds in the three major oxidation pathways: aerobic respiration, anaerobic respiration, and fermentation. ISB can use all of these pathways, and contaminant degradation may occur through direct metabolism, uh, cometabolism, or abiotic transformations that may result from biological activities. Bioremediation of aquifer. Bioremediation in groundwater by air sparging. Air is pumped into the contaminated site to stimulate aerobic biodegradation. Volatile contaminants brought to the surface are treated by biofiltration, activated carbon, or combustion. Here is the figure of bioremediation of aquifer. See the figure properly. You can understand the process of bioremediation of aquifer. Bioremediation of marine oil spills. Useful process for removing marine oil pollutants. The application of oleophilic fertilizer is a useful bioremediation strategy. Marine oil spills are very catastrophic events which pose a great threat on the affected environment. Marine oil spills are mainly oils, petroleum, fuel, etc., composed of complex hydrocarbons, addition of microbial seeding or inoculum that are capable of degrading hydrocarbons. Most microorganisms considered for seeding are obtained from enriched cultures from a previously contaminated site. After inoculum addition, fertilizer is added, then environmental modification is done. Adequate irrigation nutrient source is a prerequisite. Bioremediation for marine oil spills can be approached in two different ways depending on the case at hand. This includes bioaugmentation, which involves introducing oil degrading microorganisms to the affected site, and also biostimulation, which involves adding supplemental nutrients to the affected site to add the existing oil degrading microorganisms. Here is the bioremediation of marine oil spills, bacteria, and airage yeast and fungi. Bioremediation of air pollutants, air and gases pollutants, bioscrubber, biotrickling filter, microorganisms immobilized on an inert matrix. Air is purified gas and air is nitrogen, sulfur dioxide, flue gas, blast furnace, styrene, waste gas or polystyrene, and biofilter fungi. Bioremediation of air pollutants. Microorganisms are used for air emission control in three types of devices: biofilter, bioscrubbers, and trickling filter. There are some technologies related to bioremediation which are phytoremediation. Bioremediation through the use of plants that mitigate the environmental problem without the need to excavate the contaminant material and disposed of it elsewhere. Second one is bioventing. It is an in situ remediation technology that uses microorganisms to biodegrade organic constituents in the groundwater system. Third one is bioleaching. It is the extraction of metals from their ores through the use of living organisms. Fourth one is land farming. It is an ex situ waste treatment process that is performed in the upper soil zone or in bio treatment cells. Fifth one is bioreactor, any manufactured or engineered device or system that supports a biologically active environment. Sixth one is vermicomposting. This is using various worms, usually red wigglers, white worms, and other earthworms to create a heterogeneous mixture of decomposing vegetable or food waste, bedding materials, and vermicast. Rhizofiltration is a form of phytoremediation that involves filtering water through a mass of roots to remove toxic substances or excess nutrients. References of this video are given on the screen. If you have any question regarding the whole series of the environmental geotechnique, please ask it in comment box or you can visit our telegram channel Civil Dunya. Thank you for your attention. Please like this video and subscribe this channel and stay tuned with Civil Dunya for more update information related to civil engineering. Thanks for watching.